Hey, it's Todd Ault. It's the 30th of March. This is the 41st episode of what could be, which clearly not yet, the greatest show ever about risk, because I have made some mistakes, but the market was better for us today, was it not?
For sure.
I got to learn how to use this.
It's
Oh, it didn't work.
push it.
Okay, it's there we go.
Hey, all right.
All right.
Better late than never.
Hey, eventually I get applause. Hey, it's Jason Bartholomew to my left. On their screen, would it be to their right? It would be to their right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jason Bartholomew, Todd Ault here, Risk On. We talk about stocks. We talk about gaming. We talk about a lot of things.
We talk about sports.
Risky stuff.
We got to make sure we talk about sports, you know.
Talk about sports.
Yeah.
I used to be a scuba diver. Did you know that was
Yeah,
a
you
risky
told
thing?
me that.
I used to night scuba dive in caves. Now, for those of you who don't believe it, just imagine a skinnier me in a thick wetsuit diving at Shaw's Cove in Laguna in those caves.
Let me ask you about that. How deep can you go before you get crushed, your body?
Oh, no, you can go pretty deep. I mean, depending on the question isn't how deep you can go. It's how long your oxygen will last when you go deeper. The deeper you go, the less oxygen you'll have. And then the problem is on the way back up, that oxygen will expand and cause you, if you go back too quickly, give you the bends. Richard, hey, thank you for the super chat. Richard Ritter the third. Wonderful, thank you so much.
Young penguin.
Young penguin. Hey, Todd Ault. Hey, buddy. Hey, thanks for tuning in today. All I can say, today was an interesting day. It started off a little gloomy for me today. I was a little frustrated with the experience of what our stocks were doing. It was not good.
That experience and then a couple other things. One main thing.
What, you mean that I went to Popeyes and ordered 9 chicken sandwiches and only got 5?
Well, there's that, and there's one other thing that just forget it. We won't talk about that.
What was the other thing?
Well, you know.
I don't know. Okay, I'm losing my mind a little bit. Well, I was bummed about the chicken sandwiches because I love those Popeye chicken sandwiches and I got them for the whole office. But I sent someone back to get those 5 chicken sandwiches I didn't get.
You know that Popeyes, you know what they said to you?
No.
Got him!
Oh, well. We're learning. We're with our tools today. I want to say a couple things about the market real quick, and then we'll have Jason get to the numbers. It was a rough morning this morning because POWW, ammo munitions, I can't even say it right, initially was down, and I bought some more in the hole. It was not a good scene. But as I talk to people about risk a lot when you're trading, inherently as you trade over time, you develop I don't know how to explain this, but a feeling of where you are stomach-wise. I know, Roland, when you're losing money on a position, do you eventually decide, like, you're there on the edge, whether am I going to cut it or not? And sometimes don't you think that when you're going to cut it, maybe it's the right time to be buying it? Yeah. There's some people that are really disciplined. Roland was saying you think you got to follow your gut. But I kind of knew with Powell, this is my logic this morning, is that, yes, they delayed the LOI. Kind of had a bet with Roland last night that they would come out with it today or tomorrow. We were right, except they didn't finish it. But, whatever. It is what it is.
I knew that would be a possibility, though, the delay, but the good details on, what keeping us up to speed on what's going on. So that was fine.
So I looked at it and thought to myself, they still have 100 million. It's approaching 5. It was like 5. I want to say 540. I don't know how low. How low did you say it get today, Roland?
Yeah, like 536. I saw.
I think I bought some at 545 or something, 542, and I just started adding to it a little bit at a time, and it improved. And eventually, we had an up day for Powell with us, and we were actually back positive on all cylinders there. Yep. And I felt comfortable that, well, wait a sec, management's saying they're still working on it, and they have all that money, and there's still massive demand. And with what's going on in the political world, there's still going to be demand. And then last night, you and Roland were telling me at dinner with Skyla and my son Enzo, you were telling us about how people are taking the brass and recirculating it, et cetera. So I was pretty excited to hear. I just think it's a legitimate space to be in, and they're kind of an up-and-comer. And so I got really comfortable with it. I just added a little bit to it. I didn't have my full position. I had 4.3 million invested, and I knew I had 700,000 a room. Kind of that's my limit. That I'm not going to put more than 5 million in the name.
Right.
So I added a couple $100,000 today. Like I added like $100,000 worth. So now I have 4.4 million in it. We have a profit, and I'm comfortable with the position. We're going to see what's going to happen in the next quarter, so I'm carrying it over.
Yep.
When you get to the market, tell us what happened with the Dow, the S&P, and all those exciting things.
So yeah, the Dow and the Nasdaq, they both finished down. So did the S&P. The Dow was down 104, and the Nasdaq was down 14. The S&P finished down 12. There was a bit of a sell-off into the closing, and that kind of turned everything negative. But we started off slow, and then the middle of the day, we got a lot of traction, a lot of green tickers for us, and a lot of green tickers in the market. Most every sector was up. But then around 3:30, it looked like a lot of profit takers. Notice that a lot of not much is holding these days. We're finding ourselves looking to make more day trades, except for some of our long positions that are larger.
I'm not a big fan of day trading, as you know.
Well, yeah, but you got to think about it.
You got to swing a little bit.
You're on your phone, though. I mean, it's a little bit harder to do that.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Bitcoin was it was 58,850 coming on air, and Ethereum was 1850. Oil was $60.39. That was down $1.17. Gold took another beating, $16.83, down $31 an ounce, and silver was $24, down 76 cents. I dare anyone to go find a 1 ounce silver round for under $30. Good luck on that. Copper was $3.98. The premiums on silver and a little bit on gold are ridiculous. You could make a case to say that the spot silver price is definitely not the price that the market is selling for. So it's pretty interesting.
We're going to try to break the show up into new segments. Our director is helping me with this, so bear with us as we get started with this sort of 10-minute segments. But I did want to go for full disclosure and go through a few things that happened to me today. I'm along this SSNT. That contributed nicely to our profit today. Now, granted, we didn't sell it, but I'm going to give people a little bit of an update. The winners we had today were SSNT, POW. You stepped up and had me buy SOS.
Right.
I think you should update the people on what SOS did.
SOS,
we did buy SOS. Wow, dude, we paid $4 and some change.
We got that one pretty good.
$470 something.
So SOS did a private offering, $125 million. That's 25 million shares at $5. And that was offered a discount to the investor based on Monday's closing price of $5.60. They got about an 11% discount. And what happened was it was a nice storm today for us in a good way. We had Bitcoin surging, and with the Bitcoin surge, it kind of started a nice continuation of all the tickers. In the morning, it wasn't really big. Bitcoin was kind of flat. Most of the Bitcoin tickers were down, but we're still seeing some separation from the actual price of Bitcoin in some of these tickers, although it looks like Mara had after-hours news.
Sure. We got long 25,000 SOS in the hole below 5. It was 470 when I started buying it.
It's possible that we might add on to that position.
Okay, great. Hey, a disclaimer, as I'm required to say, we are not recommending you follow us. What are you saying here, Josh? This is a show for entertainment purposes. Anyone heard that? They have the last 41 episodes.
Yeah.
We are not recommending these trades. We're telling you what trades we're doing. We're talking about the market. You got to consult your own financial professional, as we are not financial professionals anymore. I was a licensed broker, but I'm no longer. I haven't been for about 10 years. And my friend Jason's never been a licensed broker.
Nope. Just traded my personal account between that and poker.
But you were licensed to throw the baseball.
We threw some ball. Yeah, we did that. Yep.
Yeah, you did that, right?
Yep, for sure.
Jason was a former major league pitcher who was in the minor leagues, and he is a professional poker player. And I had the privilege of playing poker last night with my buddy Roland. Roland happens to be dating my niece, and he's in town. And where did we play last night?
We played at New York, New York.
Right. So at one point, Roland was playing two-handed. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have been to Vegas recently. With COVID protocol, 6-man table is now 3-person table. And so you can play, you have this glass partition, which is bizarre. and he's playing underneath the glass, and he has 2 hands. He can play 2 hands at the same time.
Yeah, there's 6 spots normally, so actually with 3 players, anyone can play 2 hands.
Is it called Ultimate or Unlimited?
That one's Ultimate Texas Hold'em.
So we had to wait. There was both 2 stations. Both stations were packed.
Yeah.
Those donators were at the table.
Yeah, they were punting.
And then one station opened. Roland played first. I think I waited another half an hour to play. Right?
Yep.
And what I like about last night so much, I don't know why. I had a good time. I really do think that you are very. Although Roland seemed like he was keeping up with you, you are very fast. The fastest I've ever seen.
We found 3.
I could not keep up with you. You knew my hands better than me. I'm like, I'd show you my cards. You'd be like, yeah, you got it. I couldn't do it.
The dealer made 3 mistakes. We called.
Oh yeah, this was the point I wanted to make about today, and I want to do it early in the show. We're going to spend 5 minutes on this topic. For those of you who are poker players, Jason is a professional poker player. Won some big tournaments. He actually actually took his rent money, had no money left, took all of his rent money, won an $80,000 tournament. So it's exciting.
That was fun.
It's a true story. I spoke to his wife about it, and she didn't know. You didn't tell her.
No, I think she may have known.
I thought she said she did not know that you took the $1,400 for rent money and entered until after. But listen.
Oh, it's a good thing I won then, huh?
So one of the things that's happening is the game is very fast, and when you're playing, we're 3-handed against the dealer. You put 2 bets up. You put the ante bet up. What's the other bet?
The blind bet.
The blind and the ante. You don't have me buy all that other stuff.
When I'm not playing the sucker bets,
Yeah.
I mean, you can make hands and get paid there, but it's about a 6% house edge over the long run.
Right, but the reality here was last night you caught 3 dealer errors.
Yeah.
In which they were not paying properly, and or they didn't. Can you talk about that? Because I would have never known this. Like you caught them taking money from me.
You know, you catch them a lot too, and then once in a while you'll catch them overpaying or misreading a hand, like. For example, I had a hand that was here. Let me give you an example. So I had 4-3 offsuit. The flop was 3-5-5. So I put a bet out on the flop because I made a pair. I had 2 pair on the flop. The turn in the river came 8-8. So my hand was counterfeited. So I no longer had the pair of trays. I had 8s and 5s with a 4 kicker. So the dealer turns over his king high, and he continues to award me the money.
He paid you when he shouldn't have paid you.
Yeah, he paid me. So
I noticed you gave him $5. You bet with him, right?
Well, I gave him a tip on the bonus hand, but you know that type of mistake happens. It's human error, but also he underpaid 3 times. Mm-hmm. So all that stuff is planned into the odds of the game. The underpayments were interesting though, because on one of the underpayments, he forgot to pay you on the blind spot, which you made a straight.
Right.
So on that spot, you get paid straight or better. He forgot to pay you there, and then also
he was qualified. He didn't realize he was qualified.
Yeah, he was qualified on the other one, and then he went to cut out some checks to pay you. You had like 3 red chips in both quadrants and both sections, and then he cut out the chips, and he only left 2 red chips behind. He didn't palm the chip or anything. He just didn't bring out enough chips to pay you. So I just pointed out, hey, listen, you're short a red bird here, and then he put it out there.
And he admitted he was short.
Yeah, so it was.
But it's funny, we started off with like $10 blind, $10 ante.
Yeah.
By the end of the night, I was betting $50 on each side, right? I guess that's you're pressing yourself, right?
The last hand you had ace 6, I think,
right.
which is a 4 times raise.
Right. Went in for 100.
Yeah, you had 25-25. Yeah. But that's okay because you're 60-40, 3-2 against a random hand, and you're getting 4-1. So that's a plus EV play.
Right. So if anyone has any questions of Jason. Does he know the odds? You do definitely know the odds.
Yeah, we have to know the odds.
Yeah.
What are you just going to go? I mean, to be honest, we shouldn't probably be playing that game. But in the short term, you can beat the game. But in the long run, that game is unbeatable. Like if we were to play like 1,000,000 hands, they would end up winning.
Hey, everyone in the chat, thank you for joining us. This is wonderful. This is the show, the 41st show. We're learning how to do this. I kind of liked it when Roland was playing and we were watching. Seems like you were coaching him a little bit. You guys are sharing ideas.
He had a straight flush draw, and he had queen 10 of clubs, and we needed just an 8 of clubs or the king.
He went
of clubs.
up for a while though, didn't he? He was up pretty well. Like at one point, you were winning. You were playing both and winning both sides.
That game is super swingy though.
Yeah, it's when you swing very quickly.
It's very
because
high.
you bet on if you bet on the pre-flop.
Yeah.
Or on the flop, or even on the river, by the time you're out there, you're doubling up your bet pretty quickly.
When you put your bets out and then you have a premium hand, Like, well, I mean, Ace-6 isn't a premium hand, but it is a 4 times raise. And you got to remember, you're only like a 60-40 favorite against the dealer's random hand. So, you know, you're a 3-2 favorite, but that's not that great. Like, if you start losing those 4 times raises, that's where the game gets to be really swingy. So I always tell people, if they're going to play that game, make sure they have at least 50 bets in their bankroll.
Hey, Josh, when we decide to go live, we're going live from what, El Cortez?
We're going to get something set up with El Cortez.
Roland, I'd really like you to be there.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun. He's a very good player.
Which is cool. There's 3 spots. So.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, is there only 3 spots?
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, when we do that, are we going to be able to live stream that? Can you live stream it on YouTube also? Or
yeah, there's YouTubers that do it right now.
Oh, right now?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, cool. I'm excited about that. I thought we could give away stuff, but I've learned the hard way that I better keep my mouth shut. Anyway, so we're gonna get clear on the rules and make sure that we follow them.
We're gonna figure it out for sure.
Yeah, this is the 41st show.
Yeah,
and we don't intend to break any rules, and apparently there could be some.
Yeah, we don't.
Let's keep those straight. We're going to switch over from... You want to talk about poker at all? Roland, anything going on there? Because I'm going to end this segment. We're going to go on to the next 10-minute segment about... we're going to cover some individual stuff.
I mean, the only way we really get any poker action right now is if we play this table game, because poker tournaments take 2 days for me. And we do the show.
I got to tell you, it's everyone who knows me, I got a divorce like 20-something years ago. Started seeing a shrink. I see her every Saturday. I've seen her for 20 years. Kind of a life coach, right? And I really believe in this. I really do. It's really helped my marriage. It helped my interaction. Although Skylar would tell you that I still yell occasionally. So I guess the counseling's not working out perfectly. But we're working on that. But what was I going to say about that?
You were going to talk about...
She was going to say you need a hobby other than working.
Right.
So the only hobby I have is my wife and working.
Right.
Right? No other hobbies. Well, I like to eat too.
How about like some...
Right, Josh? Josh is saying, yeah, you do like to eat. Josh, the reason I bring that up every day is Josh is constantly pounding me about my weight, telling me to lose weight. I look terrible on camera. Come on, dude, hurry up.
We need maybe some dune buggies with some gun racks.
No, I want to do that. Dune buggies, gun racks. That's why we moved to Vegas.
Yeah.
But I'm really liking the poker thing.
It's cool.
I really like playing with you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's really fun. You guys, and I think that the public, people watching this stream, will enjoy watching Jason think. Come on, dude.
Dude, YouTube, you can put anything on YouTube. Like, for example, honestly, there's people that take like 100, like a whole, they go to the convenience store, they buy an entire section of lotto tickets, and they sit there and they just scratch them off. There's like those silver remnants everywhere. They're just clearing them off all over the carpet, and they're just sitting there watching them scratch off $10 lotto tickets. They'll buy like a whole pack of them for like $300, and they'll like give them super chats, and they want to like contribute, feel like they're getting, living vicariously through them, because a lot of people don't have gambling where they live. There's, there aren't casinos in some places.
Right.
Like in Florida, even there are some casinos. They're Seminole owned.
I could see with the pit boss coming over a few times when we all had a lot on it. We were playing a lot.
Yeah.
And they were all like wanting to and switching the dealers a couple times and stuff like that. That was cool. Anyways,
well,
hold on a second. Let's
go ahead.
Let's see what's going on right now. Andrea, it all worked out.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Oh wow.
Wait, well, she didn't know what?
Oh, when I went and. Yeah.
She told me she didn't know.
Well, what about when I brought a check home for $81,000? I guess she knew that.
She was happy. She knew then.
She's like, Jason, how do you want this? You want it in chips? You want it in cash? And it's like 3 a.m. There's like railbirds everywhere. People looking around, possibly wanting to get a little bit of money because they were rooting me on. So
what does it mean? Oh,
what is that?
Nose all in. Galaxy Stokes.
What's that? A donkey?
Oh yeah, I like the goat noise
do we have
too.
that?
Yeah, that's great actually. We gotta be able to get to these things a little quicker. We got a rooster. I don't know, how do you roll up and down this thing?
I think that's just
I think you narrowed it down, didn't you?
The director set that one up.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
No goat noise.
No.
We'll have to get back to that goat noise. I don't know why we don't have it anymore. We got a boom.
Headshot!
We got that. Whatever, man. Right. All right. Andrew didn't know. Any feedback on Nokia? I think it's range bound. I looked at it. There is a ton of stock out on Nokia, and I don't have an edge on Nokia. Do I think you'll lose money? Probably not. I mean, they're an infrastructure play. They're a 5G play. They apparently have a new relationship in Japan, but I don't have any kind of edge. We tend to play stocks we tend to invest. I don't even want to use the word play. We tend to invest in stocks that have reasonable shares outstanding.
Correct. That's true.
And something we think we can get an edge in.
There's other factors, you know.
It's not just us that looks at POW. I mean, we have other people that are looking at POW, and we get feedback from a lot of people. Roland, I happened just to be in POWW earlier, like in the 3s, when they were uplisting. I happen to have a friend of mine who's a big investor who bought into the IPO, the uplisting, put in $5 million at the listing price, which I think was $3.
Yeah, I remember you told me that.
He's still long. So, and the quality of the bank, Roth Capital got behind them. So we put a lot of work into this. Nokia, I think you can range trade it. If I'm not giving you advice on what to do, but if it were me and I wanted to trade like 50,000 worth of Nokia, I'd buy it on the way down and then kind of range trade it back up and follow the chart. It doesn't. I mean, you have any feedback there?
There's just not enough upside for me right now. There's so many other sectors that
I feel bad because I mean he clearly wants some input on Nokia, but I just don't think we have an edge there. I looked at it; they're huge.
Oh yeah,
they're gigantic.
Yeah,
I mean this is a huge infrastructure play when it comes to telecom.
It was like 4 billion shares outstanding.
Yeah, but it's not even the outstanding shares. It's a big company.
It is a big company.
But I appreciate the question, and if I come across anything, I promise I'll pass it along to you. Let's go to some stocks here. And if you could pull up the screen real quick, we are moving on to GameStop. So, as everyone knows on this, who follows this show, 41st show, I'm short the calls.
Mm-hmm.
This morning I was getting walloped.
Yeah, you were. 204, I saw.
Yeah, and then it went back down to, for those of you who may be listening on the radio, and I got to get that ingrained in my head, going left to right. We kind of open it around 89. We go to around 200, fall back down to around 86, 85, and the rest of the day all the way trade up to 204, 203. And right now in the aftermarket, we're 192 down to $1.48. We closed up $13 on GameStop. I have no edge here other than I'm short.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm sorry, Jason.
No,
go
you're
ahead.
fine. I mean, you want to be. I mean, looks like Mr. Cohen is doing some. He's cleared some house there.
I want to be clear. I'm not short GameStop because I believe GameStop isn't going to go up. I just don't believe that the story will continue in the manner they went from 4 to 200. They went to all the way to 480. They're back down to 200. I think Cohen's going to add a lot of value. He's doing something. The market believes something. But when I get paid $65,
oh yeah,
and that would be called it something like a $20 billion market cap.
That's a no-brainer.
It's a no-brainer for me
it
over
really
time. Now, listen. I want to talk about this stock a little bit and writing covered calls and non-covered calls. On the naked side of calls or the naked side of puts, I've done this for many years. I mean, I've done naked put writing and naked call writing for years. And historically, I collect a lot of premium, kind of like I'm an insurance company. Mm-hmm. Occasionally, I got to pay out a claim.
Yep, that's true. It's a good way to put it.
Right. And so this is not for the faint of heart, and I do not recommend you selling naked calls. Flat out. But I've done it with my prior hedge fund. I sold naked calls, naked puts. And I used to have a target of selling $400,000 worth of premium a month, which was $4.8 million of premium a year. But I was prepared to buy the stocks I was writing those puts and calls on, right?
Yeah.
So
it's not for the faint of heart.
I would not.
For the
I wouldn't use your lunch money there. And in fact, I'd flat out tell you, writing naked calls and naked puts, for the average person, you will not sleep well, especially when you get walloped one time.
Yeah.
If you would have been writing naked calls on GameStop at 20,
oh my God,
you would have been taken to the woodshed.
Yeah.
I mean, they would have killed you. Your head would chopped off. You would be done, right?
You'd been homeless, like using your lunch money to buy into that last poker tournament.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
But anyway, I think Cohen's...
And you wouldn't tell your wife.
Yeah, Cohen's doing a great job for day-to-day operations, building value within his team. He added Elliot Wilk as the... he's formerly of Amazon. He's the Chief Growth Officer. He's going to start April 5th. Andrea Wolf was... Now, get this. He's bringing in people that he knows personally, and they succeeded together. Like Andrea, she was VP of Brand Development at Chewy, okay?
Right.
And now, guess what? She's Brand Development at at GameStop. Tom Peterson, VP of Merchandising at Chewy. Now he's VP of Marketing at GameStop. So,
Right.
I mean, it's a proven formula. I think Chewy went on to be bought by what, PetSmart?
It got bought by PetSmart. Then it went public.
Yeah. So
And it's been doing well. It's a love stock. I mean, it's been doing incredibly well, right?
So he's building value and internally with his team, and let's see what happens regarding the capital raise that he spoke about during the earnings.
Yeah, I
call.
think we're gonna wake up one day to an ATM announced.
I think so.
Yeah, it's only coming. It's coming.
Yep.
And it's gonna be a big. They're gonna do a shelf for $1 billion. Raise $100 million, have it on the shelf, ready
Yep,
to go.
for
right?
sure.
And for Cohen, who's in really low, he's at a low price, right? Roland, when do you think Cohen bought in? It was a long time ago, right? Right, it was like $12 or $14.
He's down there with deep value. With
He's really down there. That's right.
So,
Roland's kind of a little analyst.
yeah, he's
Not only does he sell car dealerships digital products, but he's a stock analyst too.
We talked about
And he
infrastructure.
sounds like he knows guns too.
Yeah, we talked about infrastructure today, and we were landing on the same names.
Last night we were talking about skinning deer.
Yeah, but that was that was with,
him.
Was it? Okay.
No, coyotes, deer, everything, man. It's crazy. I didn't mean to stop everyone. People do eat deer.
No, let's go to the next. Let's go to the.
Okay, let's go, Nick, to the screen here.
We talk about Viacom.
No, I want to talk about infrastructure because
right.
you won't stop talking about the stock. So here, you go.
Well, we missed. Actually, if you wouldn't mind, let's start over here. I kind of put these two together. Here we go. U.S. Steel, ticker X. So I alerted this one in the 18s.
You legitimately did, and we bought some.
Thought it would make all-time highs, and I had to wait till this day, March 30th, to announce that U.S. Steel did, in fact, make all-time highs today. $25.76.
Hey, let's just say it over a month ago. Let's pull the chart up. There. Happy? We bought it right here.
No, but what?
We bought it right here. We sold it right here like idiots.
That's fine.
And then it went higher.
But now, look, we have a chance to redeem ourselves. I guess that's my point. Okay, you guys ready?
What do they do?
What do
You just going to say infrastructure and energy holdings or alternatives.
Yeah.
I know, but do they specifically make anything or it's just a fancy name?
No, they just have contractors, infrastructure stuff. They're building stuff.
Building stuff.
So, but if you look, this is purely a Biden play. I mean, I hate to say it, but this is going to make all-time highs too, in my opinion. And
He's
that's
your president.
That's $24.
Right.
I'm giving us an opportunity to enter this on the next.
Oh, the market cap is $349 million.
Yeah, if there's any pullback.
I'll make you a deal.
All
Let's legitimately look at what they do.
Okay,
I want to know what they do because I don't know what they do.
that's fine. Yeah, Cleveland Cliffs. We missed that one though. This is the one. This is the one that's lagging a little bit, in my opinion, based on the chart.
I'm grateful. How do you pronounce the name? Vadim. Vadim, it's very kind of you to do a super chat with us, and I appreciate that. But the question you're asking, number 2, are you guys long DPW?
Oh, let's see that.
Okay.
Oh,
I am the executive chairman of what you call DPW. It's Ault Global. Happens to be named after my grandfather, who gave me $1,400 when I was 18 years old to start my business, and I named it after my grandfather. I was adopted by my father, Milton Charles Ault Jr., and I'm the third. He changed my name when I was adopted, and I named the company after my grandfather.
so yeah.
It's not my given name. I never knew my real father. But that's not your question. The question is about DPW, which is the symbol of Ault Global. And unfortunately, I cannot comment, but here's what I can comment on. I have never sold a share of DPW, and you can see all the filings, the 13Ds and the S4s that I filed for my company, Ault & Company, which I believe is still the largest shareholder of Ault Global. I've never sold a single share, so the answer to the question is, of course, I am long. Jason is not allowed to trade DPW because I work there, and he works for a division of Ault Global, and so he would not be allowed to trade it without permission. And I can't comment on any of the operations of DPW, Ault Global's infrastructure, the subsidiaries they have. Yes, it's an EV. We own Coolisys, and that's all I can really say. And I apologize because I know you want me to say this, but I can't. I would get in trouble. It's not the space for me to do that.
Yep.
I can say I own it, and through Ault & Company, I probably also own some through my contract. I've never sold a single share, and I outlined a 10-year plan for the company, and that's really the extent of what I would say. That being said, thank you. But I do appreciate it, Vadim, and I'm happy to talk to you about other things, and I'm super glad that you're on the show. This TBLT, this was an underwriting done by Maxim that Robbie's talking about. Can anyone get me a quote on the stock, TBLT?
Yeah, this is tough built. Oh, wow. What's going on here?
He says right now, he's saying quarterly earnings was great, 12 million cost of sales.
90 cents.
Okay, that's had all kinds of, they did like a unit deal with a lot of warrants and stuff like that, and I just don't know that deal. It was really under pressure a lot, but I will look at it, and Vadim, you're welcome for me answering, and I apologize that I can't talk about it, but I believe me, I would get in a lot of trouble for talking about anything about DPW other than the facts that are already known out there. So I'm only commenting on what's already been disclosed to the public.
Correct. Yeah, I'm just kind of looking at this. If you see me looking down, I'm like looking at live tickers, like as we are broadcasting.
So we're gonna look at infrastructure, energy alternatives. Roland, do you know this name?
I know similar stocks just like it.
Right. Right.
I mean, it's just a construction company. Engineering, procurement of construction services, renewable stuff.
Can someone check real quickly on LuluLemon, see how it's trading in after hours?
4% expectation.
Is the stock up?
Let's see. LuluLemon, it's down. Earnings plays are tough. Generally speaking, it's really tough to hold through earnings.
Nick, let's go back on this up on the screen.
Yeah,
real
it's just
quick.
down a little bit. Down 1%.
Vadim. This is great.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Vadim, he said, by the way, thank you for SSY, 100% gain in 2 weeks. Yes, I was long SSY. I filed the 13D. It did go up dramatically. Unfortunately, I was a large shareholder and I wasn't able to sell as much as I would want to. And the company had a poison pill, and they clearly made it clear that they didn't want me owning 9.9%, and I won't comment any further than that. But Vadim, I'm glad you made money on SSY. So did we. And I happen to still be long 252,000 shares of SSY at $2. So Vadim, thank you for watching that. And interesting to know that you traded that. Can we go to the screen real quick, Nick? This is Viacom.
Mm-hmm.
I sold the whole entire position today. The highest I sold today was 47.
I feel like we escaped that one. We didn't really.
I got to be honest with you. I started reading more about this hedge fund.
Yeah.
And wondering how much he ran it up. Turns out that was he involved in GameStop? He was involved in GSX. I bought GSX in the hole today, pre-market. It went up. I sold that. I just was completely uncomfortable. I'm out of Viacom for full disclosure. I don't own any. I love Sumner Redstone. He, of course, has passed away. Sherry Redstone, his daughter, is the executive. I believe she's either the chairperson or the executive chairperson, and she was insistent upon remerging Viacom and CBS. I think it's run by Bob Backish. I love the property. I had told you how much I was depressed with myself that I didn't buy it at 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and then it went to 100. I'm thinking, and actually, the interesting part about it is I thought, I must have a problem. How do I know a stock that I loved at 10 or 11 or 12 was going to go to 100? And what do people know about what I don't know? And it turns out this hedge fund guy was like buying stuff hand over fist, using swaps, and then not telling the other banks. I can't say that it is. I don't want to say allegedly. I don't want to say, but I think that there's something up with this.
Yeah,
this guy went on. I mean, did he have something wrong? He went on a tear, and he used swaps to buy up things like crazy.
And that's going to give the excuse for these
people.
You can hear what's coming.
You know what's coming.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I already saw Harvey Pitt. We need to look into our former
course.
SEC guy.
Yep.
We need to look into why this guy was allowed to. It's like Emily Chang from Bloomberg Technologies. One day I saw her. This is when I tuned out to the show, and I used to love Bloomberg Technologies. It was called Bloomberg West at one time, and she was doing this thing about people using Airbnb, and she said, Should people on Airbnb allowed to make that kind of money? I'm like, what?
I remember that.
What do you mean allowed to? What you're going to regulate how many? I mean, allowed to make money?
Yep.
What is wrong with this country that's wrong with making money? And by the way, the system hasn't worked in other places. I saw this great article about here in California, in the United States, and how I don't even. Am I allowed to even get into this?
I don't know. You're going to talk about Northern Europe and how everybody.
Yeah,
thinks
I'm going to say
they think they're socialist nations. They're not socialist nations. Okay.
Right. And so my point is that what's wrong with making money? I mean, it just makes absolutely no sense. And in fact, when I make money, I give it back. I now support my niece and her education.
Yep.
I've supported my kids and their education. I'm giving it back. I spent money on University of Arizona, on UCLA. I continue to spend on private schools, whatever I can do to give back the money to society. It's ridiculous that I'm not going to care about this.
You grow the business, you create jobs.
Right.
You pay. They pay taxes. You pay taxes. I mean, it's just
Right, and I actually care that the company I'm part of employs so many people around the world. I mean, granted, it's not like Amazon where they employ 1 million people.
Right.
But to me, employing 100 or 200 people is a big deal.
Well, look, when you were in New York City and all these small businesses are now closed.
Sure.
I mean, did you see all the signs?
Yeah, it's terrible.
I mean,
no, I was there.
Yeah.
It was terrible.
Right.
I was in New York City recently. Absolutely terrible. The city is like unwound, and things that were in business for a long time are completely gone. It was like a purge or something. It's terrible.
Yeah, you just have to ask yourself the risk reward. I mean, is the cure going to be worse than the disease?
Right.
And you have to quantify all that with the business side of it in the day-to-day lives of humans. I don't know.
I don't know what I was thinking here. Oh, I got on the topic of the hedge fund over the family office. What's it called again?
Yeah,
Archigo.
Billy Wayne.
He clearly was buying stuff up with swaps. It looks like to me, allegedly, buying stuff with swaps. Allegedly. Sorry, it's not clearly. And he's buying the same positions of multiple banks. They didn't know it.
Well, it's pretty clear there's no 13 Fs or Ds. There's no filings.
Right.
So how else would he accumulate?
He used swaps and he
Of
ran it up.
course. Of
He ran it up.
So there we go. Now Capitol
The
Hill.
question is it systemic risk? And the answer is, I don't blame Harvey Pitt. I saw him on CNBC. He's basically saying, what kind of systemic risk does this cause? What kind of disclosures should be made when you're using this kind of leverage? But he was also making the argument that the guy was in trouble for why should he be allowed to do business again, which makes no sense to me. If he pays his debt to society, why can't he come back and do business? But
right.
What do I know? I mean, Michael Milken paid his debt to society, and look what he's done. Wonderful things. Yeah. Anyways, I digress, and we're on to the last 18 minutes of the show. What would you like to cover?
Did we covered SOS?
I don't know that we did.
Did I?
You spoke about it a little bit.
Okay, let's at least look at the chart.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go.
Let's look at this is a wildly show here.
Look at that.
Yeah, this is a. What do you read into this?
I'm gonna recommend.
This is us trading it, us getting killed, trading it.
Well, no,
Yeah,
in there
I know
you got.
we sold it.
Don't
I
forget
know.
about the hedge, the hit piece from
Hindenburg. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's.
Well, the 1 month is down $1.68.
Yeah, we're gonna be loading more.
What's the psychology for me buying it today? I paid. I believe I'm going to get the exact price I paid.
Yeah, that'll help.
But I believe I paid $4.70 for it, and I paid $4.70 because you said to me they just did a big pricing. Let me look here.
Yeah, private offering, and that was $5.
So it's down 59 cents. Yeah, I paid for 25,000 shares. I paid 4.7537.
Nice.
And I did that because you said to me that they did a big pricing at 5, right?
Yeah, I'd like to double up and have an average around 487. Yeah.
Why do we like this name so much? We've talked about it until we're blue in the face. Crypto?
Yeah, crypto for sure. Crypto exchange. They're deploying a ton of miners, like just a ton. They were called scams. They hit piece from Hindenburg, and then the CEO and his executives went out and they actually videoed the miners, all their facilities in China. So now they just raise more capital. I'm probably sure they're going to deploy more miners. So it's undervalued in my opinion.
But you're not recommending it because we don't recommend any of this show. This show is for entertainment purposes only. Hey, those of you don't forget that this weekend at 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, we're on KEIB 11:50 a.m. Los Angeles, Orange County. We're on the iHeartRadio app.
Yes.
And you could, can you get replays? Josh, can you get replays of that or no?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
You can watch the show.
Oh, yeah, YouTube. Yeah, of course. Tune into Risk On YouTube or Toddault, Toddault. You watch show. And we have a recap every Sunday, too. So I love the recaps. I think those are done by, is his name Travis?
Like the best of the show.
Tyler.
What? Tyler does those. I like them a lot.
We're in CLSK also, full disclosure, as a crypto play.
Yeah,
They,
we're on CleanSpark. Everyone knows that, right?
Yeah, I think they do.
What else you want to cover?
Let's talk taxes. Let's talk unions, immigration, election
Amazon,
law.
there's an election going on, right?
Yeah, so you want to talk about Amazon? They have a vote count to begin in Alabama.
You know, Drunken Turan says,
Yeah.
I've gotten burned in SOS. I don't know if I can trade it anymore.
Oh, well, just hold it then.
Don't trade it. Hold it. Just kidding.
That's not a recommendation.
Yeah, of course it's not. Amazon elections taking place. Where is it, in Alabama?
Alabama.
Alabama.
Yeah, man. So, you know what's funny is, okay, this is really funny. This is the hypocrisy that we see every single day. So Bezos, he's raising heck about voter ID laws and how it could possibly, hinder people's ability to vote. Okay,
Makes
So
sense.
what does Bezos do in Alabama, Todd? What does he do?
They have to have an ID to vote.
He raises heck about Alabama. How can these guys vote and gals vote without an ID? We don't know who they are. He's trying to disenfranchise. Yeah, Bezos.
I got to tell you, I love the sitcom laughter.
So yeah, he's a clown.
I
right?
saw Henry Blodgett talk about it yesterday. He was on CNBC yesterday. And Henry Blodgett, for those of you, you know what's amazing to me is, what year were you born, Skylar? Cheer up.
Wow,
There's always a chicken sandwich on its way.
before 9/11.
You were born in 2000. So I believe that Amazon went public in 1998. Is that right? 98, 97,
That sounded about right.
something there, right?
Yeah.
Bezos is the richest man in the world.
Yeah.
And Blodgett said that they're an easy target now, right? It used to be Walmart they picked on, but now Amazon's got 1 million subscribers. They got a lot of employees. He's a big target. All that money goes into the richest hands in the world, right? And so they're an easy target. And so they're going after him right now. There's just an easy political target, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the fact is that there's not anyone in this room that's not affected by Amazon. Why do I look at Skyla? Because the Amazon man shows up every day at my house. I don't know what's in those packages. But Skyla's a big shareholder of Amazon. Everything you ever need is at Amazon. And so will they unionize there? And what will that do to Amazon?
Well, Amazon, I try to give business to other businesses because I feel bad because Amazon's business plan is just so efficient. Their logistics are amazing.
Yep.
And the convenience factor is huge, especially during COVID.
Now,
I
you
mean,
used to be a logistics manager, right?
yeah, UPS and DHL, formerly Airborne Express.
Yeah, so you're kind of an expert on the topic of logistics.
Yeah, my brother's actually up there pretty good in FedEx also.
Yeah, your brother's an executive at FedEx.
Yeah, we got them all covered. So
Yeah, for sure.
I know how the arteries work in the logistics industry, from air hubs to ground hubs to local centers to package car drivers.
And you wondered why I asked Jason to co-host the show with me.
Well, I mean, I dealt with the unions personally.
yeah.
So my first job out of baseball, guess what?
What?
Supervisor, UPS.
UPS.
Worked into
We were
time
the tightest
studies,
ship in the shipping
a
business.
little bit of industrial engineering. Then we got into management, and we started handling union employees and shop stewards. Yeah, all that good stuff. Witnesses. You know, whenever you reprimand somebody, shop steward there.
Make me a witness.
Yeah, I had to grow up really quick.
Take me out. I got it.
Definitely
Sorry.
challenging.
Yeah, I know that song.
So, anyway,
So are they going to unionize there?
I think they are.
Right.
Yeah,
Alabama.
I really do.
You know what's funny about this country is you want people to do well, and when they become massively successful, we want to tear them down. And then later on, they give their money to philanthropy.
But just a little bit on the unions thing. In my opinion, unions do protect the weak employees. It's harder to shed them. You have to document everything perfectly. They get second, third, fourth chances. Whereas like a right to work or an at-will employer, you know, they still document stuff. They still have to, you know, abide by corporate ethics and integrity for the most part. I'm speaking generally. But it does kind of hide the soft or the weak employees.
Yeah, I get it. They managed to get Skyla for us to just wire her paycheck directly to Amazon every week. I've never seen anything like it. It's like it's an ACH out of her check right into Amazon. Just kidding.
You know, the drivers are probably like, man, I come here every day.
Yeah,
Why can't they order
you know
everything
what, though?
at once?
You got to give credit to her. I like this stuff called Old Boss. I told my wife I have to have this Old Boss tea. I think we made you some.
Oh, that's bad. That's
Good
bad
stuff,
meaning
right?
good.
Bad meaning good.
Yeah, hold on.
And we didn't have it for. Wait. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow. And we didn't have it for a while, and all of a sudden I come back, and Skyla's ordered it from Amazon. There's Old Boss all over the counter. So she's in charge.
Dude, that stuff is, how much is it?
Oh, it's ridiculous. The Old Boss tea is out of control.
I kind of feel like it was worth it. I mean, that was really good. So what else? Let's talk about taxes a little bit.
Can I spend 1 second on something I promised Josh on?
Go ahead.
We have merch now.
Talking about Amazon, you're talking about,
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. We have merch now, Risk on merch, and got to make sure I do it all the right way. But check out the channel. You'll find some Risk on merch. There'll be more on there later. Alex.
More.
Alex, I appreciate you hanging in there with me. I saw your POWW text the other a little while ago, and I was sinking a little bit too with you, buddy. So Alex, hopefully we are going to make money together. Let's hope.
You know what's not syncing right now?
What?
You send out an SOS.
Oh, it's up?
Yeah, it's looking good right now.
Yeah, got it. So we got some merch on the channel on YouTube. Check out our YouTube channel and don't go anywhere else. There will be no links anywhere else but to YouTube.
Did you want to talk a little bit about some information regarding taxes?
Let's talk taxes.
All right, so I don't know if any of you have been paying attention, but for the most part, there are exemptions for anyone that had unemployment benefits up. Now, let me preface this. I'm not a certified public accountant. I'm not an attorney, tax attorney, anything like that. I'm just doing research. Apparently, and you can get this information online as well. Apparently, they're not allowing the $10,200 unemployment income tax break in a few states. So I just want to tell people, if you live in the following states, you it looks like you're going to have to claim all of that unemployment benefit income. And that is going to be, let's see, Colorado, Georgia, Hawaii. I think there's about 9 states actually. And I was just, let me see if I can find the rest of it. But if you're any of the states that you live in that you have to file state income taxes, make sure that you are looking to see if your state is exempt or not. I'm actually looking at it here.
I saw something last night that a Democrat that was not going to vote because he wants to see the SALT tax repealed. I don't get this whole thing. The whole issue with the state of California and New York being able to make it federally deductible.
Oh, okay.
This is in for a fight here. It looks like, I mean, they don't have enough Democrats and Republicans to pass this current tax bill.
You think like Manchin, he's going to be...
There's others, though. I saw others are upset. People, obviously, from New Jersey and California, they want their residents to be able to deduct those taxes from their federal taxes. They call it SALT tax. I don't understand
SALT
why.
tax.
SALT?
Oh, that's interesting. Well, I've got the chart here on CNBC. You can look at it. Benefits taxed: New York, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, West Virginia, Kentucky, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Mississippi, Colorado, Idaho, Minnesota, and Hawaii. There you go.
What are they saying? They can't deduct it?
They cannot deduct it. The American Rescue Plan waived federal tax on up to $10,200 of benefits per person. 13 states don't offer that tax break. I just listed them for you.
Got it.
Yeah. And SOS just seems to keep going up. That's
What else you want to
interesting.
cover?
So I wanted to talk. Well, let's see. So Joe Biden recently, that's your president, right?
My president. He is my president.
All right, well, WAPO, Washington Post, just gave him 4 Pinocchios for claiming that a new Georgia voter law ends early voting hours. Apparently, that was something that, you know how they would always call out people for fake news? Apparently, that came out, and Washington Post actually clarified that and gave him 4 Pinocchios. I thought that was very honest of them. Yeah.
So tomorrow's the end of the quarter. Any thoughts?
We'll have some reconciliation.
Right. Well, the question is what are the hedge funds, what are the mutual funds want to be long and short for the new quarter?
Do you know what'll have a factor? Well, the infrastructure is going to have.
Sure.
So that'll, even though I think he's not presenting that until later on, like after close of the market. So that's going to be a factor, I think, about.
Don't forget the holiday. We have Good Friday, right? Is it Good Friday, right? This Friday? Good Friday. Was Easter on Sunday?
Yes, that's correct.
So I will be leaving the country.
Yes.
And we will be off this Friday. So Skylar is going to be able to have a 3-day weekend. But I'm going to host the show from a foreign country with you, I believe, Thursday.
Thursday's baseball opening day.
April 1st.
Can we do the show, like take the day off? No?
No.
No?
Not only that, are we not taking the show off, because we never take a show off during market hours. We always take at the end of the market, when the market closes at 1 o'clock Pacific time, 4 o'clock Eastern, about 5 to 15 minutes later is Risk On with Todd Ault and Jason Bartholomew.
Yeah, you can book that. That's gonna be
That's
consistent.
a bookmark.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to be doing this from a different country.
I think I'm gonna just talk, like, baseball season starting. I'm really excited. I might just mention, that I like a certain team.
No, we're going to give people our picks. We're not charging them. We can give them our picks. There's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
We're telling you what we like, and we're going to be talking about baseball.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, we're going to try to avoid that trouble.
Okay.
Josh is going to read all the fine print and make sure that we do the right things.
That's fair. I'm going to rely on their expertise for this
Sure.
because
Got him!
yeah, I can't have
You got him?
yeah, got him. I can't have them get us, We got to continue to roll here. We got to make this thing consistent. We got to get more nutrients involved in what we are giving to the folks, and I think baseball will be able to add a little more value. They can take that information and use it in their in some of their strategies.
Hey, if you're long LuluLemon, 258 in earnings versus expected 249, 1.73 billion in revenue versus 1.66 billion in expected. The shares are down about 8% year to date, and as of Tuesday, the market closed. LuluLemon's market cap was $41.3 billion for yoga pants.
They've got some expensive gear.
Skylar just took my son there shopping yesterday.
What did you drop?
She spent $700.
Yeah.
On yoga pants for my son.
What did you get? Like 4 pieces?
How many pieces did you get?
2 pairs of pants, 1 shorts, and 3 shirts.
That's
2 pairs of pants, 2 pairs of pants, 1 short, 3 shirts, and Skylar got a jacket for $700. There's a reason why
Wow.
LuluLemon is doing so well.
long. Maybe I'll go long Lululemon.
Hey, I
Personally.
like the yoga pants for sure.
Wow.
My wife looks great in them. I'm sure lots of other people. I'm only commenting on how great my wife looks in them.
Sure.
But who doesn't like yoga pants? I don't know how I'd look in a pair of yoga pants. Pretty scary. I might do it for charity. Put on yoga pants for charity or something.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
And a wife beater.
In a way. Is that appropriate? We're all worried now. Woo! What do you say? What do you say?
That's a shirt.
Hey, let's talk about our risk on stocks of the day and what we like going into tomorrow and the new quarter. Do
Right.
you have any thoughts on what you're a big fan of right now?
I like IEA. That's an infrastructure play we just talked about. I like those crypto tickers that we were talking about
Sure.
earlier. As far as CLSK, SOS, IEA, and then of course we have our longs. Like Boeing,
CleanSpark,
Clean Spark.
Icon Enterprises.
We have a couple of biotechs, bioscience.
Yeah, we added more to this AEZS. You're thinking that's a COVID oral vaccine in Germany.
That's exactly what
where you can
it
take
is.
a pill, hopefully.
Yes.
That would be interesting.
Yeah, they're at a German university right now doing
Let's see
studies.
what happens there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I've been hearing it's not going to go away. You're going to have to possibly get a vaccine every year.
I think it was Goldman or someone talked about there wasn't a long-term business model in curing people. So, they would probably prefer, it's kind
Oh,
of...
yeah, we're not going there.
Yeah, but
I got
anyway, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, but they cured polio.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonas Salk.
Yeah, but there's a lot of other diseases out there.
Okay. What does this mean? I got to wrap it up?
Let's wrap it.
Brad, does this mean wrap it up? 1 whole minute left.
Anything you want to talk about?
I want to tell everyone real quickly, Jason and I, starting next week, are going to start talking about ETFs for traders that track certain industries. I particularly have been looking at some of these. I'm fascinated with ETFs specifically set up for traders to get long, short sectors, names, semiconductors, triple leverage, double leverage.
Wow.
We're going to talk about these ETFs. We're going to have a 10-minute segment on ETFs, and I'm going to start trading specific ETFs starting in the new quarter.
I thought you didn't like day trading.
I didn't say day trading. I said traders.
Listen,
you could be a swing trader. You can trade for a month. You don't have to trade all the time. Hey, it is March 30th. Yeah, we're headed towards Easter, the end of a good first quarter. I made some money this quarter. Did you make some money?
Sure.
You did too, didn't
Yeah.
you? Hey, for Jason, Skyla, Roland's a guest today. Nick, Josh, Brett, Willie, Joe, Crypto Joe.
Yeah.
It's March 30th. It's the 41st episode of Risk On. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow, the last day of the quarter.